Hello, this is Faye Intuitive Club. I was looking at some YouTube after my boys went to bed tonight, and I found a YouTube called, it was really good, by the way. I just want to give another perspective on what she was talking about, that's all. And it was called Clean Your Cards First. I think she mentioned that she had done a class on Tarot, and she had forgot to include cleansing of decks. Her name is ShaynaLinda. I think that's correct. If I pronounced it wrong, I'm sorry. But yeah, the YouTube was Clean Your Cards First. Okay, so if you want to look it up, please do, and I'll try to figure out how to link things, whatever, as I go. Her video, like I said, it was really good. She gave a really good, like a traditional view of what to do for your deck to cleanse it and get rid of energies out of it from, say, people who might have handled it before you bought it, if you bought it at a bookstore or such, and who knows how the person felt when they packaged it, or unpacked it or whatnot, okay? She had some really good points with that. And so my main thing was that, okay, a lot of people think smudging is the only way to um, cleanse your deck, or clear it, I should say, of energies that you don't want in it, or of other people's energies. Um, so most of the only difference, there's a few things, but the first thing I wanted to mention was she kind of just held the whole deck through the smoke, and that's good. That works. Um, but I personally like to do each individual card because then I'm kind of connecting with what I'm seeing around the card, and I'm doing every single card. So by the time you get to the whole deck, you then want to put the whole bundle through that time, the whole deck that last time together. And after you do maybe a couple movements through for the cleansing part, then you can do putting your intent in, like if you want the deck to be clear knowing, to have the clearest information coming through as possible. If you want your allies, you can actually call them during the cleansing part and then say, okay, now that we've cleansed together, please help me to put in my own energies and the good intent of clear communication and clear knowing, and be work, ask your allies that this be a spiritual tool that they be willing to work with, whatever your intent is for the tool, because smudging isn't just for using the tarot. You can use it with any of your spiritual tools. I also work with pendulums. You can clear your pendulum, any tool with smudging. Okay, now the other point I have in a little bit of difference than other people, and I know a lot of people don't care, but to me it's important. Sage is a good herb to use. It works, but it is a temporary cleanser. It does not have the lasting power of, say, an herb like clove, for instance. And you don't have to use very powerful herbs or particular herbs that even I mentioned or she mentioned, as in she mentioned sage, I mentioned clove. You can use, your favorite scent of herb. You can use lavender. You could use whatever. You could research to find other herbs that you might like better, like if you don't like sage and yet you still want to smudge. There's a lot of different things you could use as, and most of them are herbs or even resins. Like if you would like your ancestors connected into your readings, if you would like them to have a connection to your oracle, amber is a great resin to use um, for smudging your oracle or tarot. So that's just a few ideas there when it comes to smudging. You don't own the own. Sorry, you can do more than smudging to clear the energy of your decks. You can do sound. A couple examples of sound would be a rattle, where you would go individually through every card or just hold the whole bundle together, however you want to do it. And it's not the wrong way, it's just different ways to do it. And go all the way around your oracle, okay, with the intent that is going to clear the sound is going to clear the deck, okay. And then again, you can use the same thing, combination of energies and allies around you, plus the tool that you're using for cleansing to first cleanse, and then put in your own energy and the allies' energy to help for your intent with the spiritual tool. So that's a couple things there. You can also mist, but you don't want it to be a heavy mist. You want it to be very, very light. You don't want to warp your deck. A lot of people don't want to use liquids with their deck. Totally understandable. You can also clear your deck with stones, and you can store your deck with stones too. But in my case, I use like a very small stone, and I put it kind of towards the curve or the corner of the bag or whatever that I'm storing my oracle in. And this is a little Herkimer. These are supposed to be pretty powerful little stones unto themselves. I had a, a great friend who's good at charging things. She charged it and said, here's a gift. And they're a little bit expensive, so you don't have to use Herkimer. You could use quartz. You could use, any stone that you feel would be a good supportive stone for your deck. Cleansing stones, you can look them up. But there's lots of different possibilities there. And some stones are connected to Fae, and if you have a Fae deck, you might want to have a stone that's connected to the Fae, so that energy is around your deck. For whatever reason, be it connection for intent or to help keeping the stone clear. Now, another thing was that I let people touch my oracles, okay? But in doing that, I reserve the right to not let them touch them as well, because sometimes I don't need to. I already get like an immediate connection with the person. I'm already getting a lot of good information. There's no need. But when I do feel like letting them touch the cards, be it to just cut, or sometimes I spread the cards all out on the table, a nice spread, just spreading them out, and let them touch the cards. And also sometimes I bring a couple different choices of oracles or tools to work from, and I let them choose which one. And the illustrations, I say pick the illustrations that you like the best, and those will usually work for you. So when I let people handle them from doing those different things, usually I put a cleansing stone on the oracles after. Either if I'm only doing a couple readings that day, right after the reading. But if I'm in a situation like at a festival where I'm doing several readings, then I may just have a clarifying stone that I keep in the general area of my decks so that it's kind of pushing energy away. So this one is a clear quartz, and with clear quartz you can charge them for any intent, for cleansing, for powering up, for all different kinds of things, healing. And this is a fluorite that I've used often. Okay, fluorite. Again, I would just place this piece on top of the deck and let it sit and let it do its work. Okay, pretty simple. So I cleanse my decks if I allow people to touch them. I also cleanse decks at the new moon and the waning time period. I don't really do it at the full moon very much because there's a different energy there, and I'd have to go into a whole another YouTube thing to talk about that. But during the new moon and during the waning time, because the energy during that time is dissipating, it takes things out. And then during the full moon and the waxing time, I would put new energies in, or I might even do it then with the intent of just allowing it to absorb my energies now that other energies have been taken away. Okay. Something else, I'm trying to remember what else was there. Oh, you want to cleanse and purify the bags that you store your oracle or tool in, or the box, or the stones occasionally. Like if you use a stone that tends to absorb negativity away, like a Apache tear or something like that, you want to cleanse your stones. So yeah, there's a lot more to that than she shared, although hers is a very traditional view. So if you have comments or questions, please feel free to write them down there and I will answer them as soon as I can. Let's see, I can't think of anything else. I think I covered everything I wanted to. I hope this was interesting. Thank you. Please tune in again. Bye-bye.